Alright, greets peeps, welcome back. At the end of our last video I noticed that we had a traditions pop up, and it's time that we talk about Unity. So we've seen where we get Unity from. We get it from our administrators, and we get it from our... Nope, we only get it from our administrators at the moment. Yes. I think our this guy does something to do with Unity as well. So your ruler will give you a bonus to your monthly Unity output as well. So him combined with our administrators on the planet are giving us 13 per month, and by clicking on that or by clicking on there, we'll go in here and find out what Unity does for us. Unity allows us to set traditions for our species. Now, traditions have an adoption effect. They have various missions within them which you need to fulfill by getting more Unity and then buying the bonus and following the arrows to fill out all of them. And once all of these have had enough Unity spent on them, you will get the finisher effect. Now, the finisher effect of that is... well, actually, we can see. If we have a look at these, we can see that just by adopting this this tradition, we will get our colonies develop at 25% faster. And once we finish all of the bonuses, we're going to get one additional district on all of our planets, which is really good. If we remember back to our earlier video, we saw that we had a maximum of 16 districts on a planet. This expansion doctrine is going to, expansion tradition rather, is going to allow us to have a total of 17, which is really good. But more importantly, each of the steps along the way gives us a bonus, and there's a couple of bonuses in expansion that are really good. New colonies starting with one additional pop is really powerful. Ordinarily they start with only one pop, so you're doubling the starting population on each of your planets. And given that expansion is a big part of the game early on, and that population is your primary source of resources and everything else, and therefore everything else, more population is amazing. The next step is a population growth speed increase of 10% for every planet that you own, which again is huge, super useful. On this side of the path, you can reduce the starbase influence cost by 10%, which is just amazing. You can reduce your empire sprawl by 20 from systems and colonies by 25%, and that's amazing because that means you don't have to build more admin efficiency buildings. What the hell are they called? What are they called? Administrative offices. So you get to... I was going to say save on one of those per planet, but that's not quite true. But you certainly do need to build fewer of those, which is great. You can instead of building admin offices, you can be building research, or you can be building more alloy production, the important stuff, research and guns, and then the final one that we'll get is the starbase upkeep reduced by 20%. That's great. Saves us cash. At the moment, our starbases cost us 5 ducats a month. 5 energy per month, and that would reduce it to 4 ducats energy per month. You can tell that I play a lot of EU4. So I'm very tempted to get expansion. Expansion is a great early choice, but all of these have values that are worth have bonuses that are worth getting. Discovery and expansion are the two typical early ones, but there's a case to be made for domination, because once you finish domination, you get one monthly influence, one influence per month, which is insane. That's another. You're getting 4 per month instead of 3 of a very hard to come by resource is really cool. There's also reasons not to get that, but it's very powerful. Domination is good for the finisher, and there's nice boosts through it as well. Extra housing, particularly good one, and resource output from workers and slaves is another really good one. Supremacy, best one in Supremacy, gives you a boost to your starbase capacity, so you can build more defensive platforms to protect your stuff, and it also increases the damage of those starbases, and it also increases your ship fire rate, and it also increases your ship upkeep and naval capacity, which is really important. So Supremacy can be an important pick if you're warlike. But this one has one of the nicest finishes in the game, in that it increases your research speed by 10%. So what I typically do early on in the game, and I haven't done it in this one because I've been sort of focusing on other parts of it to talk you guys through, what I'll typically do early on in the game is I'll have built several science ships, because I want to explore all around me as quickly as I can, find as many anomalies as we can. Not that we've found any yet, apart from the one special project. Find as many anomalies as I can and map out where habitable planets are. And if I've got good habitable planets near me, then I'll go towards expansion, because I want to take advantage of faster colony builds and more colony pops and faster population growth. Or if I haven't got very many planets near me, I might go discovery, because I want my science ships. A disengage chance increased by 50% means that they don't get murdered by aliens that they find, and it means that the scientists that are on those ships are less likely to get murdered by aliens that they find. And I also like extra research alternatives, so rather than the 3 choices that we have at the moment, we'd get 4, and rather than our scientists being capped at level 5, as they currently are, see, we've got skill level 1 of 5. Choosing that would allow them to go up to level 11, level 7 rather, and that's great. I want my scientists to be as good as they can be. I also want them gaining experience as quickly as they can be, and because scientists are leaders, that bonus benefits them as well. And I also like my scientists costing less to upkeep, and I like my research stations giving more bonuses. So I don't know, let's make a decision based on what we are. What type of people are we? We are, there we go. So we're research heavy people. Let's roleplay it a wee bit for once in my life, and rather than just trying to game numbers, and we're going to go for discovery, because that's the kind of people that we tutorions are. Other things I should mention in here is that every time you finish a tradition, you get an Ascension Perk. We can't see any of those yet, but I'll be sure to point those out once they come around. I'll let you explore these for yourself. They're all very self-explanatory what they do, except for governing ethics attraction, because that's tricky to explain at the best of times. But yeah, they all have bonuses. Ultimately, they're all worth getting, and in the base game you can get all of these, and each of these provides one of these Ascension perks, and then there's a tech that provides the eighth Ascension perk. Oh, we can actually see the Ascension perks, so we'll have a look at them now. I can barely read them because this goddamn room is so bright now, but Ascension perks are super powerful and they do amazing things for your population. So what we're probably going to do is that one. Once we've finished the discovery path, that's going to give us a finisher effect of research speed plus 10, and then we're going to increase it by another 10% by getting that one, and it will give us a likelihood of rare technologies appearing. We haven't seen any rare techs yet, because they are rare techs, but rare technologies allow you to get bonuses that aren't usually available to other species. But that's all that we'll do on our traditions for the meantime. While we're in here, we should also mention that relics are a thing that they're not really too related to traditions, but you get to the relics window through the traditions area, and once we've got some relics to look at, we'll look at them. We'll wrap this one up here, folks, and continue on with our gameplay on the next one. See you then.